Hi, I'm Andrea. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. I happen to be standing on a yoga mat. If you don't have one, don't let that discourage you. Find a place in your house that's carpeted. Maybe you have a rug that you can substitute as your yoga mat. And you notice that I'm barefoot. If you're more comfortable in your shoes, just leave your shoes on. For this practice, a chair would be a really helpful tool, one that you can maybe put your foot on the seat of. That will make sense as we go. And also a couple of blocks. Maybe you've got thick books that you can use instead. A folded towel, that could be your hand towel or dish towel. And maybe even a bolster, and that could be as simple as pulling a cushion off of your couch, just in case you want something to sit on that gives you a little bit more of a perch later on. Let's start, as we often do, in our bedrock pose, mountain pose. Turn your palms away from one another, stand with a little soft bend in your knees, and let's use this as our foundation. It's the foundational shape of almost all the yoga poses, but it's also where we find our foundation of breath and of inward as opposed to distractedly outward turn. Let your breath travel in and out through your nose if that's possible. If not, just awareness of breath, breathing any way that you can is great. And I'll be silent for a moment here so that we can stop, so that we can start. Adding movement, inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape, and then exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Float your arms along your sides. Again, like that, inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape, and then stand into your mountain. Once more like that. Inhale, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, and then float your arms along your sides. Chair pose. Bend your knees, V shape overhead. Pause here for a moment and shift your weight into your heels. Keep the thumbs to the sky, so you want your thumbs facing the ceiling, and then straighten your legs and float your arms along your sides. A little tempo to that. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, inhale, stand, float your arms along your sides. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Stand and float your arms along your sides. Chair pose, arms to the, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Now this time, as we stand and float our arms along our sides, let's stand on our left leg and bring our right knee into our chest, and then back to chair pose. Stand onto your right leg, left knee into your chest. Chair pose. Stand, float your arms alongside you, right knee into your chest. Chair pose. Stand onto your right foot, left knee into your chest, and let's go back and forth a few more times. If your tempo is a little different than mine, great. Celebrate it. Right knee into our chest. And left knee into our chest one more time. Come back to your right knee into your chest, and let's stand in our balance. Woo, right? It could be handy to have your left hand onto a chair, onto the back of your chair. We'll stay for 3 moments here, maybe even arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Head to chair pose, so step your right foot hip distance from your left, thumbs to the sky. Stand on your right leg, bring your left knee into your chest, and then we'll stand in our balance. You want to hug the outer right hip in so we don't find ourselves collapsed here. And if you like, floating your arms out to the side or taking a hand to the back of your chair. Those are both great things to do. 2 more moments as we are. Step back into your chair pose, so left foot hip distance from right, thumbs to the sky. Stand and pause. We'll set up our props for what we get into next. Bring your chair into the mix and turn so that your seat is facing you. If you'd like to use blocks, we always mindfully set things up so that they're not directly underfoot. Take your 2 blocks, turn them tall, and put them off the sides of your mat. If you're not using a mat, just like I said, not underfoot, yeah? Then facing our chair with our feet hip distance, let's return to our mountain for a moment. And then we'll find chair pose, thumbs to the sky as we inhale, and then exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward. As you exhale, take your hands to the seat of your chair or onto your blocks. Step your left foot back, and we make our way into a lunge. Sometimes sideways space is helpful. You could step your right foot to the right a little bit, and then we will steer our right hip back and our left hip forward here. Once you feel like you've stuck your landing, come upright, thumbs to the sky. So arms are out to the side, we're upright. We pause here for a moment, and then we're going to do something that's sort of a sneaky balancing challenge. Stay upright. Keep this scissored situation with your legs. Just start to straighten both legs, so straighten your front leg. And then it feels a little bit like we're on a tightrope, doesn't it? Just do your best. Couple of moments here. And then rebend your front knee. Pause here in our lunge. Take your hands to the seat of your chair or onto your blocks. Step your left foot hip distance from your right and bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then stand and pause. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips and take your hands to your chair or to your blocks. It's our right foot that steps back this time. Maybe left foot, heel toes a little bit to the left. We'll come upright in our lunge, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. Slowly straighten that front leg. It might feel a little wobbly like a tightrope. That's why arms out to the side is handy. We're balanced on our back toes. Stay for a moment here. And then rebend your front knee so we're back into our lunge status. Return your hands to the seat of your chair or onto your blocks. Right foot hip distance from left, hands onto your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, chair pose, thumbs to the sky, and then we stand and fully inhabit our mountain. Chair pose. Now we'll stand onto our left foot and take our right knee into our chest, and then come back to chair pose. Stand on your right leg, left knee to your chest. Stay with me here. A little seesaw through a letter T. So take your hands to the seat of your chair. Make sure your head stays above your hips. Maybe your hands onto your blocks, and step back into our upright lunge, thumbs to the sky. Slowly straighten your front leg, our little balancing challenge. Rebend your front knee. Hands to your blocks or to the seat of your chair. Step your left foot hip distance from your right, hands to your thighs. Inhale, heart extends, and exhale, hinge at your hips. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Stand into your mountain. chair pose. Stand onto your left leg. Take your right knee into your chest. Chair pose. Stand onto your right leg, left knee into your chest. Chair pose. Stand onto your left leg, right knee into your chest one more time, and then a seesaw with your hands to the seat of your chair, maybe onto your blocks. Step back slowly into our upright lunge. Our left leg is forward, this time thumbs to the sky. Slowly straighten your front leg. We're in our little balancing challenge. Rebend your left knee. Hands to your blocks, maybe to the seat of your chair. Step your right foot hip distance from your left. Hands to your thighs. Inhale, lift your heart. Hinge at your hips. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky, a V shape, and then stand into your mountain. Now, let's move our blocks off to the side just as we start to get the ingredients for our next adventure. You may want to use the back of your chair, so that can be really helpful. Tree pose, hands onto our hips. Maybe you take your left hand onto the back of your seat. Stand on your left leg, take your right leg out in front of you, turn from your hip joint, and then make a kickstand with your toes, your right toes on the ground. Maybe bring that right foot into the inside of your shin. It could be that you even take your right foot into the inner thigh. Remember, left hand can stay on your chair, right arm out to the side, thumb to the sky. Could be both arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. And we'll pause and breathe here a couple moments. And then return your right hand onto your hip. You can keep your left hand on your chair or take that hand onto your hip too. Right knee center into your chest, and then step back into your mountain. Turn your palms away from one another, and we pause. We'll take the second side so you can just turn and make sure that your right hand has access to the back of your chair. Hands onto your hips, maybe right hand onto the back of your chair. Stand on your right leg. Take your left leg out in front of you from your hip. Turn that right leg, that left leg out, and then kickstand with your left foot. Maybe kickstand moves up to the shin or into the right inner thigh. And then we want to hug that outer right hip in. Remember, you can keep your right hand on your chair or both arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Take a few moments and breathe. And then our way out, left hand on your hip, maybe both hands, left knee forward, step, hip distance, into your mountain. Turn and face your chair. This is where we use the seat of our chair for our next adventure. Step your right foot carefully onto the seat of your chair. Now, if you don't have a chair, or if this feels like it's a little too high up, just come onto your right toes, and you can do the same thing that we're about to do, but from this position, just on the ball of your right foot. So either on the ball of your right foot or right foot on your chair. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn, turn, turn to your right. It could be that here, as we're twisting, you play with a little lightness in that right foot. You'll have to hug that outer left hip in, so we're standing tall. And you could even do that if you've got your the ball of your foot on the ground. You can just like play with lifting your foot up a little bit. So we're standing in our balance. 2 moments here. Unwind. Bring your hands to your hips. Pay close attention as you step off of your chair. And then we'll stand on our right foot, left foot on the chair, or remember the option of coming onto the ball of your left foot instead. Get situated, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn, turn to your left. And once you've got your twist happening, hug the outer right hip in so we're not collapsed into that hip. Maybe you play with lifting your left foot off your chair or even your left toes off your mat or you're off the ground for a moment. And we're just standing in our balance. We're seeing how it goes. We've got a few more moments here. And then unwind, hands to hips. Step down, left foot hip distance from right. And we pause. Take a few moments here. Now, from here, we will again stand onto our left foot, but our right foot is going to kick us in the butt. And you will reach with your right hand towards that foot. If you don't get to it, don't worry about it. It's perfectly useful, just like this, just with the reach. Do hug your outer left hip in. And you can keep your left hand on the back of your chair. It might be that you can hold on to that foot. We're all a little bit different in our design. Certain things are easier for some of us than others. And then there's a different thing that's easier to someone else, if you know what I mean. Stay for a couple moments here. And then if you have the foot, let go of it. Right foot next to left foot, we stand in our mountain and kind of digest that one for a moment. Stand on your right foot now. Bend your left knee like you're going to kick yourself in the butt. You can have your right hand on the back of your chair. I think that's a great idea. And then reach with your left hand towards your left foot. Now we want to tend to not letting our right hip collapse out to the side. That's maybe more for me than you even. If you can hold the foot, great. In some ways that makes it easier. And then we'll just stay with standing in our balance in this new shape. A couple moments. And then gently let go of the foot if you have it. Step your left foot hip distance from your right and return to your mountain. A few moments of pause. Now we'll stand on our left foot again, probably facing our chair. In fact, it's important that we face our chair just in case you're going to use it. Remember all the little things that we just did independent of one another? We're going to move them into a little bit of a sequence. Don't worry, I'm here to walk you through it. So we stand first in our mountain facing our chair. Stand on your left foot. Take your right foot into your tree pose. So that can be the kickstand, it can be up your shin, it can be into your inner thigh. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. If you wanted or needed to reach and put your hand on the back of your chair, you could do that. Take your hands onto your hips. Turn your right knee forward. Step onto your chair, or remember that you have the option of coming onto your toes, the ball of your foot. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Twist, twist, and turn over to your right and pause for a moment. Bring yourself back to center. Now, pick up your right foot. Let's bring our hands on our hips for this. Pick up your right foot and then find the other pose that we did. So kick back behind you. You can have your left hand on your chair. Reach for your right foot. Pause here. How's it going? Let's add our friend chair pose to our exit. So gently let go of your right foot, hip distance into a chair, thumbs to the sky, and then stand into your mountain. Great. Stand now on your right foot, tree pose, so the kickstand with your left foot that could move up to your shin or into your inner thigh, and you can always use your hand on your chair for a little bit more certainty. Hug that outer right hip in. Bring your hands onto your hips and your left knee into your chest. Step your left foot onto your chair or come onto the ball of your left foot. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your left. And then slow motion, bring yourself back. Hands to your hips. We lift our left foot off of our chair. And then just slow motion, swing it back like we're gonna kick ourselves in the butt. Reach with your left hand towards that foot. If you hold on to it, that's fine. If you don't, that's cool too. You could take your right hand onto the back of your chair. Keep your head high so we never let our head get lower than our hips. And then we will dismount into our friend chair pose. Let go of your left foot, hip distance, thumbs to the sky. And then stand and pause. We will do that one more time with our little flow. So stand on your left leg, make a tree pose with your right foot wherever it likes to go. Hug your outer left hip in. Bring your hands to your hips and turn your right knee forward. Step on your chair or come onto the ball of your foot. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your right. Come back to center, hands on your hips. You can always use the back of your chair for these things. Lift your right foot and then kick yourself in the back, in the butt with your right foot. Reach back. Maybe you hold on, maybe not. We add our friend chair pose, feet hip distance, thumbs to the sky as we bend our knees. Stand it up. Stand on your right leg. Tree pose with your left foot, wherever that likes to go. You can take your arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky for a moment, and then hands to your hips. Turn your knee forward. Step your left foot onto your left chair, or just your chair, not your left one. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Turn to your left. Remember, you can be doing this on the ball of your foot. Come back to center, unwinding, and now kick yourself in the butt with your left foot. So we pick it up, float it back, maybe hold on with our left hand. Right hand can stay on your chair, and we head back to our friend chair pose. Let go of your foot if you have it. Hip distance, thumbs to the sky. Stand and pause. Whew, that was a lot of things all together, wouldn't you say? Let's make our way to the floor. Chair pose, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands on your thighs. Inhale, extend your heart forward. Hands to your chair or maybe onto your blocks as an assist to make our way to a seated position. And once we're seated, or once we're down on the ground, let's make sure that our props are not going to be in our way in any way. Seated, you could be on a block, so you can perch yourself up on a block or on a bolster here, but we'll sit with our legs out in front of us and then bend your right knee, step your right foot over your left leg and curl your left toes back. So if it feels better to you to be perched up on something, I agree. I like to take one of my blocks and put it back behind me, right hand on my block, left arm up to the sky, and a twist, sort of like a tip of our hat to what we did on our chair. You might even take your left tricep to the outside of that thigh for a twist. We're sitting tall and we're breathing deep. Three moments here. Now, as we unwind, we will turn our leg configuration carefully into a seated cross-legged position with this right shin in front. So you can lean back, find the cross of your legs. Remember, not at the ankles, but we walk our feet further so that sort of like your ankles are underneath your knees. And then maybe take both of your blocks back behind you, press into your blocks and sit up tall. If you decide to fold this forward, all I ask is that you promise me that you're not going to round and slump it forward. So you might take those very same blocks, that's how I like to do it, turn them tall, Walk them out in front and feel like you are in mountain pose from the waist up. We'll take a few moments here. Don't ever have to fold forward. You can keep your hands back behind you the whole time if you'd like. Maybe close your eyes. A few silent moments here. And slowly walk your hands back in. Take both of your legs out in front of you. Step now your left foot over your right leg. Curl your right toes back towards you. Maybe you situate a block underneath your left hand. Right arm up to the sky, and then it's a hug, or you take your right tricep to the outside of your left thigh, and we twist. And then slowly unwind. We make it a cross-legged seat with this left shin in front. So lean back enough that you can find a complete cross of your shins. You can take your blocks and have them behind you to lift your chest. Maybe you like to walk them eventually forward and you hinge at your hips. And we have a little moment in a hip-hinged forward fold. I'm going to give you a couple of options. You could decide to walk your blocks in and to stay in this seated meditation to end our practice together today. Or you could decide that you would like to lie down in our final Shavasana meditation the way that we often do. So if you're lying down, make yourself comfortable. You can cover your eyes, close your eyes, spill out across the floor. If you're staying here in your seated meditation, maybe you close your eyes here too. You can rest your palms up or down in your lap. Final Shavasana meditation, seated or lying down. As always, you're more than welcome to stay in your Shavasana final meditation for as long as you would like. You can also stay in your seated meditation for as long as you'd like. If you're lying down and you're ready to come back, wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe reach your arms and legs away from one another, and then roll to one side and bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, maybe like those of us who sat in meditation. Let your palms rest in your lap and just take a moment to feel the balance that you have even decided to introduce into your life by carving time out to do your yoga in the middle of your busy day. stand in your balance. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.